Hello, my name is Kimmy, and with me is Kinto. And today we will discuss and give a lesson on what the price floor is for beginners and people who don't know what price floor is. But before that, we will discuss what the video will explain and other price floor itself. We will also discuss the following: what price floor is, why it happens, situations and examples where price floor is seen, and the summary of price floor. So to start, what is price floor? Price floor is when the price is higher than its regular price set by the government or anyone who produces the good or service. Because of so many demand or want for the good or service that is limited, that the demand is the more than the supply, which results to a price floor and can result to have a better income for producers. However, makes consumers pay more than the normal price.
Thank you, Kimmy. Now let's answer the question, why does it happen? So, it happens because a good or service is in high demand where even the demand is much more than the limited supply. So the government or the producer of that certain good or service will have to make the price higher in order to maintain a balanced economy. It won't make the good or service potentially go down as well in the market. So now let's look at situations and examples of a price floor. Our first example is a farmer who sells 2 tomatoes for $3. But with that price, a lot of people find it really good and will cause a high demand for the tomatoes. And with such a limited supply of the tomatoes at that rate, it will cause a shortage of tomatoes. So as a result, the farmer has to take the initiative and make the price higher in order to have a balance between supply and demand of tomatoes. It does cause him to lose some people, but not buying the tomatoes saves the supply, and to the people who desperately want the tomatoes are willing to buy it at a higher price so he still gets money in the end. Our second example would be minimum wage. If the minimum wage increases, then there are some positives and negatives. First off, it gives a raise to the employees, which is good for them because they're able to provide more for their family or themselves. However, with such a raise in the minimum wage, it causes someone to be fired in order for an increase in minimum wage. This is very hard since employers have to decide who has to be fired in order for the minimum wage to be increased. Another example is inflation. How it happens is when people earn more and in return lead to a higher consumer spending. When this happens, people who own the good or service will have to resort to making prices higher, since it leads to a shortage of the good or service if they keep it on the same price and not do anything about it.
So in a summary, price floor is when the government or another person changes the price to make it higher than its normal price because of a high demand with such few supplies of the good or service, and can result into many situations where most of the time producers win whereas consumers loses most of the time.